I hear other men say that
I mean,
about their women. You don't think
I don't think that's what they mean by that, though.
Yeah, they do.
I think you make me look better. Yes. You make me look good.
Mm-hmm.
In the exterior, or are you saying?
You know that's what I meant. I talk about the inside too, but in that moment I was talking about the outside.
Believe that. I'm just messing with you. I really do believe that.
Mm-hmm. Me too. I'd be like, damn, he look good with her.
Damn.
I didn't want to cuss.
It is a beautiful day out here, though.
It is. I guess I'll be the one to start this off.
Please.
Yeah.
Just thank you for this time, Lord God, that you've allowed us to enter into a space with you. Use us, God, speak through us, bring our minds into a collective state, God, because your word said where two or three are gathered, you would be in the midst. We give you all the glory and all the praise. In Jesus' name. Did you do your morning reading this morning?
I didn't. Alright. So before we start, let's get our coffee on. So we have our coffee this morning. We decided to go on a walk just to get a little stretch out on. And I made some cold brew coffee. It's okay. It's okay. It's not our coffee. It's
fine.
It's okay. It's a pre-made coffee. We put a little magic in ours, a little love in ours. Yeah. This one, it's okay. It's okay. It'll do the job for now.
Right.
But anyway, we didn't want to drink our coffee because we want to make sure that we have coffee for y'all. So we got a coffee this morning, and really today we just wanted to just chat about who we are and what Coffee with Koko will be about, that kind of thing. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a good start.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay. So you want me to go first? Yes. Ladies first?
Always.
Okay. So some of y'all know who I am. Most of y'all know who I am, depending on what platform you look at this on. I am Carla, and I am one half of Cocoa Beans Coffee, or Koko with Coffee. And you are... We should have practiced.
I am Marze. I am the other half of Cocoa Beans Coffee, as well as Coffee with the Cocos.
Right. Ooh, you said what? The Coco?
Should I change that?
That's not the name.
Should I change that?
It's Coffee with Coco.
Oh, okay. There you go. Coffee with Coco. So which one is the Coco? Me or you?
We both, because we one half. Like, Cocoa Beans Coffee.
Oh, so coffee with...
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. Anyway, y'all forgive us. After a while, this would be more, I don't know what happened. But anyway, we wanted to hop on here and just make sure we give a background of who we are, show our faces. It's very informal. As you see, we've been walking, not put together, but that's okay. Sometimes y'all see us put together.
Though. It's authentic.
I think so too. And that's really what it's about. So I'll give you a background of the coffee first.
Please.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
I don't want to go too much into detail because eventually we'll talk about it more when we have these chats. But we had a vision. We had several visions actually, and we brought those visions together, and we decided to come out with some coffee. But it's not just any old coffee. The idea behind it, or our mission behind it, is just to bring people together for authentic conversation, restoring relationships, friendships, family. I mean, whatever you can think of. We just wanted to, I guess, kind of inspire people to sip some hot tea or hot coffee and sit down in front of that person that you really want to connect with and have a real conversation. So that's where it came from. We did the mixture of the coffee. We kind of played around for a while with different flavors. We fell in love with two blends that we have.
Right.
Yeah, that were...
Actually, like the first blend that we ever did, like we loved it, but it wasn't it.
Right.
Like, remember,
Yeah.
like we loved that blend, but it just wasn't. It was like missing what it is now.
Yeah, I remember that. That was in April, I
Yeah.
think.
And so, like, we went through this whole process of just you and I tasting,
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure it out. Like, what did we want
Right.
to have in this coffee, and like, what did we want to represent? What did we want to have represent us, and what did we want people to see and experience when they drink that coffee? So, like, for me, that whole process was like the sowing the seed, so that other people can like really really receive it. Like, I really believe our coffee is gonna cause people to like instantly just open up.
Right. I think so too.
Yeah.
Because the first thing they'll say or that y'all will say is, dang,
Yeah,
that coffee is good. And then that's where the conversation starts. So yeah, I agree with you on that one. I really do. It was like when we had that first taste of the one that was it, we looked at each other and we were like,
this is good.
ah. And then the second one kind of happened that way too, where it was like, oh my God, do you taste that?
Man.
So we just really want, I don't want to say the community, but the world.
Right.
We want the world to taste what we're tasting, especially if you are a coffee lover, but actually know the history or the mission of it too. So our biggest, like I said, our biggest mission is to, I guess, be of assistance or inspire people to in their healing journeys of healthy relationships, even bringing people to God, because we will be talking about God because we love Jesus.
Why not?
But not just that, also sharing tips about health or tips about conversation, just, anything. So some days you'll get random talk, some days you'll get structured talk of something that, we've just been kind of pondering on. So that's how I feel about it. I don't know if you want to.
I'm gonna just say what I love about the coffee, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I love about our coffee is that it is a conversation piece.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've had some coffees that I was like, oh, this is good.
Right.
Okay, this is good. Oh, this sucks. And then I've had some stuff that I was like, I would tell somebody about this.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I think our coffee is just that, a conversation piece, which is something that we really want to, initiate for this world in general.
Right.
Like, how we talked about the history, like where coffee actually started in certain communities, where it became a platform or space for the intellectuals to meet and come together and to have dialogue, right? So I think this coffee takes you back to that moment where you're able to enter into that space with individuals, whoever they may be in your life or in your environment, that has you initiate conversation. So that's what I love most about this coffee. Like, it is definitely going to do that. Like, for us, it has opened up conversations like I don't even think we realized.
We haven't.
Like,
until after we like, oh my God.
Yeah, there's been times when we've just been sitting there and we having coffee, and then all of a sudden this conversation sparks.
Right.
So I'm hoping and I'm believing that this coffee is going to do the same thing for y'all.
Right.
So that's how I feel about the coffee.
I love that you said a conversation piece, because then I started thinking about the reviews that we get when people are leaving voice messages and telling us about coffee. I don't know if I ever got a message about, I'm not going to name any coffee brands because I ain't trying to get sued. But I've never been called about a coffee like, oh my God, that coffee that I just had was amazing. But to wake up and get messages like that, and then hear other people in the background talking about the coffee too, I'm like, you know what, God, you have touched this coffee and put something very special on it. Right. So it is bringing people together. It is a conversation piece. It does like bring you back to history. That's really what it feels like. Like, I remember my mom waking up in the morning, like, real talk, waking up with her robe on, making coffee and sitting in the kitchen and just kind of like talking. And I'm like, that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of, I don't want to say the ancestors, but it reminds me of home and family and friendship. Right.
Yeah, that's good.
So one of the first people to try our coffee was actually someone who came to visit. Like, she brought so much wisdom into the house.
Right.
So her drinking the coffee, to me, that's just a reflection of what we're talking about, and didn't even know it at that time.
Right.
So
And that was a beautiful
Yeah,
moment too,
it
because
was.
I really enjoyed, like, that was really like my first time,
Mm-hmm.
having real conversation with her or being
Right.
in her presence, and I really appreciated that moment. Like the
Mm,
wisdom that she brought in, and just the subtle piece that
right.
that was brought in also. Like that was
Yeah. Hmm.
easily great stuff.
And
Like
it's an example of what, not this coffee, but what our coffee will do.
right,
It'll be bringing, right, not this one.
not this.
It'll be bringing family members together of all ages.
Yeah,
Like to be able to sit across the table from your kids and have a sip of coffee, or from your parents, grandparents, your friends, new friends, old friends. Look, I sound like we're doing a commercial, but it's that good.
but
It
no,
is that
seriously, like
good.
think about how important that is, though. Like especially in today's time and in the climate that we're in, right? And if we're being honest, like there's this entire shift going on in our community, right? And I'm just not everybody's, but just
Hmm.
I could talk about ours because it's the one
Right,
I'm most familiar with.
right. Hmm.
But it is a shift going on, and it's very important for like our generation
Hmm.
to start to communicate with the elders, you know what I mean, on a different level, like communicate with them,
Right.
understand their process, understand what they've been through, understand like their journey of life and how they got from where they were to where they are now. It's
Right.
important for us to understand that, and then we have a responsibility. Once we get that from them, it's our responsibility to go to the younger generation
Yes.
and begin to sow into them and impart into them and just give them information, pour into them, because they're going to need us, and it's our generation that is here to bridge that gap. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I think coffee,
Oh, she said it now.
coffee is like a great launching pad for that,
It
for
is.
those conversations.
It is. This coffee has brought our families together
Mm.
in ways that I look, sip the tea, sip the
Sip the
coffee.
coffee, because
That'll
that's
be
some
more
truth.
on our episode, so I don't want to get into that piece, but just on surface level, this coffee has brought conversation between us that we needed, conversation between the kids that we've needed, bringing his side, my side together. I mean, of course, it's not a whole thing going on just yet, but there's so much hope for it.
Right.
So it's a beautiful thing. I don't want to just talk about coffee, but that was kind of how we wanted to start. But the next side of that is that we will soon be launching. I guess this is the launch.
Mm.
Coffee with Koko. We hope to bring conversation to you once a week in the mornings. Why are you
Right.
making that
Because I'm
face?
hoping y'all ready, because some of these conversations will not always be easy, right?
Right.
But we hope that through our transparency,
Mm-hmm.
that you find a way to become transparent in your conversations.
Right.
Um, that's our goal,
It
I
is
believe.
to be authentic,
Yeah.
to show life is not always easy, but when you're together and you're restoring relationships, God makes it a little bit easier.
Mhm.
He does make it easier. Um, so yeah, that's just how I want to show up. I know on my part, and we both agree with it, just to show up as our authentic selves.
Right.
So you'll get some put togetherness, and then some days you may hop on and be like, "What in the world is going on?" But
Why they sitting there in bonnets and pajamas? Some type of morning we have.
but we
So,
just want to make sure we, come on here and have a little fun, but as well, walk this journey out with y'all too. So yeah, the show will be called Coffee with Coco. Like I said, we will do this once a week. We haven't really decided what day just yet, have we?
no, not really.
We haven't. We kind of dabbled, but
We'll figure it out.
okay.
Because I had some thoughts about that.
Okay. So we'll let y'all know later.
But you know what? You do make me better. Make me look better.
Yeah, say it again. Look to the
You want me
camera.
to say it like
I want you to say it to
That's
the
messy.
camera. Say it. Huh?
all I said was she does make me look better.
Thanks. You put my hair on that sleeve. Thank you. You made me look better too. I think so. Do women say that to men?
I think so.
Okay.
Who cares?
You know what? Anyway, So we'll be on here once a week, and you'll get to watch us go through our restoration process a little bit. And then just share whatever God puts on our heart. That's really what it is. I want to make sure that if God gives us a word, that we give it to you in return. So we're here to serve you and to love you and to bring you coffee. And I don't know.
But I am excited to start this journey with you, right? Because it just it gives us a way to reach people that we would never really come in contact with. And they'll have an opportunity to, make some corrections or change some things based off of our experience that they may be experiencing now. So
this is excited. What, 17, 18 years in the world? How long? Let me calculate. Since 2004, so yeah, 19 years.
Yeah.
Is that 19? Yeah. That's a long time. So yeah, we just why are you looking at me like that? You making me embarrassed. Stop.
I'm looking at you like the gold.
The thing's still recording.
I know.
Okay. Okay.
But I'm glad.
Me too. Me too. We just ask that y'all give us a little grace, because we are really just stepping out on faith as we do. We feel called to serve. We feel called to love on people. We feel called to help heal people, bring restoration. God, of course, does that, but I really feel like He uses us as a whole to help one another. So we are really praying that this is what this does, and we have no idea where it's gonna go.
All right, now don't be, we don't want you hearing us talk and then going back and arguing, right?
Right.
That is not the goal.
Yeah.
The goal is to open conversation.
Yeah.
That allows healing to continue. If you can't be vulnerable with, and I'm talking from a manly perspective, right?
Are you talking about relationship?
Yeah.
Man and woman, husband and wife? Okay.
Like, if you can't be vulnerable with your partner, like, you're already in trouble as a man. Like,
and vice versa.
Yeah. Like, I have to be able to be vulnerable with you. Like, that's not an option. I have to be able to be naked, like, and expose my truth to you. And I have to respect whether you accept it or not, whether you acknowledge it or not. I have to respect that moment, right? But the option of being vulnerable is non-existent if I want this to work.
Right.
So that's my advice to a lot of brothers out there, or people out there, individuals out there, men out there that are in their relationship space, and they're just trying to figure out how to have a voice, right? How to be able to say how you feel without offending your partner. Like, gotta be vulnerable.
Sometimes you will offend your partner, but don't let that stop you from being vulnerable. Yeah, as long as it's from a place of love, and we talk about that a lot, right? It's all about the posture, the heart posture.
Right.
Yeah. We thank you for your support in advance.
Right.
Because I know that the support is coming.
Right.
So thank you for your support. Thank you for those who have supported us in the coffee journey as well. We had no idea that it would be received so fast. Right, but that just shows you what God can do with something small. So if you don't know, our website is up now. It is cocobeanscoffee.com. You can go on there and order your bag of coffee. If and when you get your bag of coffee, please leave us a review on Instagram or Facebook. Just let us know. If you know us personally, please send us a shout through text message or call us and let us know. Thanks for being here with Coffee with Koko.